Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online league. We're back once again with Temur Eldrazi ramp on the play for game one. Looks like opponent must have a companion. I'm going to guess Kahira, so it's likely going to be control if I had to wager a bet. No, it's Obosh. Again? We've seen Obosh once. It was what, like a Mardu Blink list? And I was very confused. I continue to be confused. Let's see if it's the same, though we do need to mulligan this hand. I'll keep this hand, though. I think I drop the Breaker, keep the Devourer. That way it keeps our options open, right? Because we can go Devour, Talisman, Impulse. If we find a green source, then we can play the Sprawl and then draw off the Drifter. Yeah, we can do that. Oh, bosh. Weird. On the 5 cards. So I wonder if it's the same, like, Mardu Blink deck, or if it's something different. Definitely not control, I can tell you that much. Could be burn, I suppose. The meta is weird right now. It is very weird, very experimental. I like it. Though it does make it a little bit hard to figure out what to expect going forward. Let's go Writhing Chris. Well, there's actually, okay. So the only downside is if Writhing Chris, we actually can't cast it, right? We do see that forest there as well as the breeding pool. Let's go with breeding pool as it gets us everything we need. Yes. Ugin Lab. Imprint. Cast. And pass. And pass. Thoughtseize takes the Null Drift. That's a little bit unfortunate, I will admit. Was looking forward to casting that. Because 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Well, in that case, if we show Breeding Pool, we show that we have nothing. But then again, goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll still go Breeding Pool. And I think we'll go tapped. Utopia Sprawl for green and red. So that gives us all the colors we could need. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are short even with the temp. There's the Elegant Parlor. And pass, draw. There's a Sowing Mycospawn. That is brilliant. So we'll go Temple and Kick. Let's kick their Elegant Parlors. It gets rid of 2 colored sources. And I think we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we'll go Temple so we can then cast the Devourer next turn. Fatal Push. That's fine by me. Not the end of the world. Arid Mesa, fetch. I mean, casting anything here right now is not great for you. Is this a dashed Ragavan? It's a dashed Ragavan. That's actually a bit annoying. Hitting Kozilek's Return, that's okay. Could have been much worse. Draw. Misty Rain. Well, this does mean we will exile our own Utopia Sprawl, which isn't the end of the world. I'd rather apply pressure right now as my opponent isn't working with much. And then we can Misty Rainforest for a commercial district and try and set up our next turn. There's Solitude, so it's possible that they will Dash Ragavan again. I'm still really confused by the inclusion of Obosh here, I'll be real. It's a Utopia Sprawl, that's fine. Opponent, you could cast a Utopia Sprawl in one of my forests, I'm just saying. We're all friends here. Do we shock in? Nope. Okay, dash. I'm gonna fetch a Misty Rain for a commercial district trigger. Return into yard. And draw. Well, no point in playing this right now. I'll pass. I guess we could have taken the return to deal with the Ragavan, but like I'd rather just draw into something of value. Dash in the Ragavan again? Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's doing what it needs to do. It hits me, makes a treasure. Null Drifter. Null Drifter would have been good. You can actually now evoke the Null Drifter, which is a bit frustrating. Yep, that will be what they do. Evoke Null Drift. Draw 2. Marsh Flats. Fetch. Let's see if they play a Thoughtseize. Reason why we always leave a land behind? No. For an Ephem? No. 2 for Overlord. Overlord grab back Solitude. Actually might grab back the Flicker Wisp. Grabs back the Flicker Wisp. Okay. And draw. Game, you're killing me here, mate. We're drawing into bricks. I mean, we would have been drawing into something, but a stupid monkey keeps on stealing it. So do you Flicker Wisp or dash a godforsaken Ragavan? I guess you can do both. Right. Monkey hit. Monkey take. Utopia Sprawl, that's fine. Again, opponent, you can do me a solid. But imagine instead they'll play Flicker Wisp. Flicker the Overlord. And I imagine they grab back Solitude. And there's a Ketramos. They take the Ketramos. Draw. What are these draws? Oh boy, we are in trouble. Yeah, so far the main thing that Ragavan has hit that I actually really wanted was this Null Drifter. We'll put a pause on end step. Here's Ketramos, and here comes Ragavan. Yeesh. So this is going to be 10 damage down to 6. I need a Devourer off top. Is that a Timeless Dragon? What? It's Malevolent Rumble. Would have liked that. I can't cast it, thankfully. Relic. Relic target me. I'll exile a Drifter. Ketra trigger. Ragavan dash. Let's fetch. Should I have like one forest? Yeah, just to thin the deck at this point. Okay. What in the world? Okay, yeah, we concede. I mean, what can I say to that? So this is Blink. Lost for game 1. Let's move to game 2. Wild. I mean, Ragavan hit 2 relevant cards. We don't want Bog. We don't want Gemstone. Cut a Chrysalis, question mark? Maybe cut a Breaker, actually. We can cut down to 9. 7 mana value spells in this matchup. Breaker only hits Overlord as a relevant card. So I think, yeah, cutting Breaker might be good. And then maybe next, if we go to game 3, cut Emrakul for Gemstone. I'm also considering maybe cutting 2 returns for 2 consigns instead. There seems to be fewer delayed triggers, the main one being Flicker Wisp, right? There isn't Ophelia, so yeah, let's just keep in the returns then. On the play for game 2. Reveals Obosh, still really confused why Obosh is a thing. I will keep this. So we're setting up for a kicked Myco spawn on 3. Pass. And pass. Marsh Flats. And pass. So no Thoughtseize, no Ragavan. Likely has a Overlord of the Baelmerk in hand would be my guess. Yeah, interesting to see all these cards that get around Overlord. Dashed Monkey. Go to combat. I'm gonna say no thank you to the Monkey. Ragavan, you've been a thorn in my side. I think it just comes down to like people playing with your cards never feels good. Like I understand I do that to people too when I play Emrakul, of course. So like I can't really say too much. Draw. Sprawl. Well, let us go kicked Myco spawn. Red, white, or black, white? Let's go. I mean, either ways we're taking out double white. Black, I think, is more important here, though. And what do we want to grab? We could grab another green source or green-red source. So either be a Stomping Ground or a Breeding Pool. That way we can play the Writhing Chris. I think that makes sense. I'm gonna go Stomping Grounds tapped. That guarantees the cast. I'll go Stomping Grounds tapped. And pass. And pass. To the Monkey. Go to combat. No blocks from opponent. Actually, Utopia Sprawls, mana neutral. Put it on red. Commercial District, trigger. Utopia Sprawl to grave. Green, red. Colorless. For Writhing Chris. Do you have a Solitude? There's a Solitude. They'll get rid of the Writhing Chris, most likely. Yep. What did you do? Exile. Timeless Dragon. I'm just confused to like how Obosh really helps here, right? We snap block here. Like, is there ever a moment where this deck actually casts Obosh? Like, yeah, the benefit of the companion is the fact that you're always starting the game with 8 cards, right? Or I guess your hand size +1. But still, this feels weird. Prismatic's fine. Draw. Man, these draws have been some hot garbage today. What is going on? Lightwooded Foothill, go to combat, attack, and pass. Hold up the ability to respond on the off chance it's relevant. I mean, I'm going to keep on blocking with these spawns, friend. I don't exactly need them right now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, well there's command. Go to combat. So we're going to do this. We're going to Ugin Lab, trigger on the stack, cast command, make spawn scry draw. We're going to hold up. Oh, I forgot to, Wooded Foothill, didn't I? Whoopsie. That's first Wooded Foothill. I did forget to do that. Forest. Kozilek's command. Hold up a red and a green in case we want to go Writhing Chris. That is going to be 7. There's an Emrakul. So bottom, 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 top, top, bottom, bottom. Draw 4, 11, 13, so no. I'm actually not going to cast, instead I'm going to pass. The reason being is if they solid 2, then we kind of do nothing, right? So we're just going to pass in full. Opponent scoops it up. We'll take the win. Bring in Gemstone, cut an Emrakul, run it back. Yeah, I'm still confused by the Obosh. It does perplex me. On the draw for game 3. I mean, it's not inherently bad. It's very top deck reliant. We'll keep and pass. Theater, so no Ragavan, no Thoughtseize, or just a kind of unstable hand. So we can go Forest Sprawl for red and pass. So we will be able to K-return next turn if needed. Do you have an Overlord of the Baelmerk? March, that's fine. Draw, temp. Let's go District trigger. Single Ugin into yard and pass. And pass. Next turn we can play temp. Ketra. Ketra's fine. Draw, cavern. Hold up the ability to cast return and pass. 1 card in exile. Overlord of the Baelmerk, trigger. Finds Flicker Wisp or Ragavan. Chooses Ragavan. Plays Ragavan. Do we want to cast a return right now? Arena of Glory. Relic of Progenitus. Yes. Relic of Progenitus target me. Ketra trigger. Draw a card. Go to end step. Trigger Overlord. Get rid of Ragavan. And draw Chrysalis. Perfect. Red, green, colorless. I guess maybe it would have been smart to play Cavernous Souls, hold up the commercial district in retrospect. I'll play a forest and pass. And hold up the blade to respond. Target me, trigger Ketra, draw a card. Yeah, it just feels like using Obosh here, you just lose so many valuable cards, right? Flage targets. Targets Writhing Chris. Trigger. Always yield. Resolve. Relic of Progenitus. Do you want to target self? Because that's okay. Be my guest, please. Weird. Trigger. So we're at 4. Okay, I see now. Fetch. Surveil Land. Godless Shrine. For a Fatal Push. Thoughtseize. That's fine. Take the return. Do it. And pass. Trigger. Draw. 'Tis an Emrakul. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Might be good to insulate the Emrakul. And that's 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, they're going to be able to attack the Flage, and they're going to be able to haste the Flage too, which is a bit rough. That's 12. What is that? 12 plus 4, 16 damage incoming. I mean, we can soak up a theoretical 12 of that, actually. We'll pass. I actually can't do too much about that. Yeah, it's actually a genuine problem. I'll say the interaction between Flage escaping, exiling cards, and Ketramos is kind of cute. I do like that. I still feel like you could do that in like the just playing Shell, playing Mardu, right? Just play Mardu value pile. Yep, so we'll soak up the 12. 2, 4, 7, yeah, so I think it's the best case scenario. Takes the return, triggers the Ketra, draw a card. We'll attack with Flage. Flage will trigger, targeting the Chrysalis, yep. And then spawn, block the Flage. Down to 16, catch a trigger, 22. Yeah, I want to say they have this at this point. There's a possibility of us recouping. That is a good example of it. The question now is to get rid of the Ketra, get rid of the Flage. I think we need to get rid of the Ketra as it's suitable and blockable and giving just them insurmountable amounts of value. Play Cavern of Souls, name Eldrazi. Now if they have a Solitude, they'll be able to exile the Devourer, otherwise we can just trade the Flage. Another Ketra. Vindicate. And on one hand, better the Devourer than a land. At the same time, Flage hits me for 9, so the lethal's on board. So we need another way to interact with their board now. Down to 7. They could have Ephem. Draw. Chrysalis does put up some blockers. We're not dead yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, so we are still short on Emrakul. Land for turn. Hasting. Hasting what? Hasting a Ketra? Yes. Oh, and something else? What does? Vindicate. So we're not dead yet. Ooh, no we are, because they send 3 at me down to 4. We can only block one or the other, so let's see if they see the line, of course. But they should have lethal if they send 3 at me. Yes, so that will be the game. We'll concede out. I mean, I'll be transparent. In the times I've played against this deck, I have lost. So clearly it has something going for it. It still confuses me why Obosh is here. Like, you don't need to restrict yourself to play a lot of these cards together. Now, if it all just happens incidentally, then sure. But I feel like instead of Ragavan, you could be playing Felia. So yeah, the deck confused me a bit. Clearly it is working, so maybe this is the direction that Blink goes. I think, Flage and Ketra do work together pretty well, given the nature of the cards. Relic is a little bit interesting, because sometimes you do want to exile your own yard. So I don't know. It's a bit odd. We'll see if this becomes the stock list for Blink. That said, we'll be back for match 2. All right, and we're back for match 2 on the play for game 1. Let's take a look-see. We can keep. So go Wooded Foothill Fetch for Breeding Pool. Utopia Sprawl for red. Temple into Chrysalis. Wooded Foothill Fetch. Breeding Pool, Shock, Sprawl for red. If you force this, then we Rumble next turn. It's not the end of the world. Red, pass. And pass. Flooded Strand. Temple. Cast Writhing Chrysalis. So our 1 land off of the Null Drift will pass. So it is Murktide, so they could have a force. There's a frog. We'll hold up the ability to respond on off chance they have an Orcish Bowmaster. Polluted Delta. Delta Fetch. Watery Grave Shock for a frog. Tis a frog. Draw. Temple. Let's start with... I mean, you can make this relatively big. So I'm debating whether or not I hold up Command or I go Drift. I think we go Drift. Draw 2. There's an Emrakul. And a Sowing Mycospawn. I mean, we're in a relatively good position here. They can make it a 6/7, so we're not going to attack with a Chris. We'll just hold. I mean, there's no way they try and... opponent? You okay? Sneaky reach. I think opponents realizing the error of their ways. Maybe. Like, if you want to, I will double block this and force you to pitch your entire hand. Do not tempt me. I will do it. This frog will not live. Opponent realized about sneaky reach. Okay. And opponent scoops it up. We'll take the win against Murktide. And let's move to sideboard. Let's see. Ghost Quarters isn't doing much in the matchup. We still want Gemstone though. Dismember. K return still relevant. Worldbreaker does do some work as it does have reach, but Devourer's better. So maybe cut a Worldbreaker and a Emrakul. Yeah, let's do that. It's also possible like the 4th K return is just not necessary. I think for the most part it might be worth cutting. The question is what for, and that I don't exactly have a good answer for. I'll keep this. And pass. Draw. Null Drift is good. We like Null Drift. We'll pass. Undercity Sewers. Pass. Flooded Strand. No Frog. Hold up the ability to respond on off chance that's relevant. Fetch 4. Undercity Sewers. Okay. I mean, we don't have anything that we can cast right now, so we can't really use this command as a permission spell, so we'll just hold. Draw. Lab Imprint Drifter. Hold. So I'm tempted the K command as permission on their end step now, as if we draw into a land, we can cast Drift. But it is a bit of a risk. We especially do need to draw into a land. I mean, alternatively, they tap out. I think we hold. I want to make sure that we can cast it. Glad we did. Oof. No green sources. We'll just continue to stare at each other, opponent. This is fine. Sporific Springs and Shock. If you do that, you could tap 3 for a Murktide. It'd be a small Murktide, mind you, and hold up a counterspell, but they don't. Draw. That's an oof. Did we just draw 3 green cards in a row? I'm going to pitch the return, funny enough. So now we can re-trigger that. Preordained Resolves. Good old staring contest. I do wonder if maybe Defense Grid is okay in this matchup. Frog. I think we do at this point fire it off. Tempted to go X equals 2 just for the fact that they could have a Spell Pierce. And then just holding up the lab. Because now if they do counter it, we can drift. You have a consign. Getting a consign out's good. Come on, land. Yeah. That is perfect. For a forest. Cast Drift. And now they can decide whether or not they want to pitch their hand to protect this frog. I'll draw 2. Do you have a consign opponent? That's so funny that just by going passing back and forth, Razzle will get the return in yard. It's a dumb way for it to work, but if it works, it works. Now that we have a green spell, we can, or green source, we can start rumbling too. Alright, so what do you consign? If you do consign it, go down to 4, so you will have to pitch your entire hand. Island, okay. Consign, targeting, really? The return, that's wild. Alright, well, I mean, I'll snap block the frog. A red source would be nice for the Chrysalis, I will admit. Two for a Murktide. So now I need a Devourer. It would be good. No attacks. Draw. Ask and you shall receive. Let's see if you have another consign opponent. Trigger return, go after Murktide. If you do have a consign, then this return will go off and kill the frog at least. Well, I guess you can consign 3. Counterspell's fine. Is it worth killing the frog? I think it is, question mark. This deck is so ill. Oh, opponent, you don't know the half of it. I will... Yeah, I think we do clear. Cast triggers are super fair and balanced. You have things to play around, so, I mean... I understand people don't like things that they can't interact with, especially blue players, you know, have a vendetta against cast triggers, so I understand to some degree. Harbinger's fine. Could be worse. Draw. Okay, command cannot be cast currently. We could go for a sprawl to attempt, but I think we'll just dig. Do you have a counterspell? You do. 'Tis fine. And pass. And pass. We'll take 2. 17. Draw. Another Chris. Rumble. Trigger. Or not trigger, but does it resolve? Of force? Yep. We'll pass. Would like a... I guess I need a talisman for the Chris. Down to 15. And again. Yep. Lab. And pass. And pass. Next turn will sprawl for red. 2. Harbinger beats online. Draw. Might go spawn. Yes. Might go spawn. What this? Subtlety? trigger. So it looks like they might be letting it resolve before they subtlety. So I don't understand. I mean, maybe you don't care. Sprawl. Really? I mean, I have enough to pay for a spell pierce, so that's not an issue. What in the what? Dismember. Interesting. For red. Pass. Subtlety? Subtlety. That is fine by me. External Writhing Crystal will go from 13 to 8. And then also have the mana to cast Writhing Chris. Or not Writhing Chris, Command. Down to 8. Draw. Another command. Writhing Chris. Can you deal with a 4/5 reach? Another subtlety. I will put it on top. Trigger. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. I'm trying to think here. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So I guess we can go 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And done. And hold. I will block. And I'll draw. Let's first attempt to exile the Harbinger question mark. No, we can go Chrysalis first. Chrysalis number 1. Counterspell's fine. In that case, well, I can't actually cast Chrysalis number 2, can I? So if I do that, I have 2, 4. So in that case, yeah, I guess I should have probably played the Sprawl last turn. Let's do these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Done. And then bottom, top, and top. No, not Writhing Chris. I want Utopia Sprawl. Red. And pass. And pass. I will block. And I'll draw. Writhing Chris number 1. Writhing Chris number 2. pass. I think we just sit on the Devourer. There's no reason for me not to. Land for turn. And passing. So now what I should be able to do is this. So one, actually what I should do is this. Trigger one. Always yield. Trigger two. Always yield. And then one more. I guess actually before I do that, I should play the breeding pool, because then I don't have to pay for it. And cast Devourer, target Harbinger. Return. I guess before I do that, let's see, that's 4, 8 is a good card into you, by the way. I really did a lot here. I mean, it slows me down, but I've said many a times that moon effects are not a good choice. So yeah, before damage, I will sack 1. So this should be lethal. And Bone scoops it up. We'll take it. Alright. Well, that said, we'll be back for match 3. Alright, and we're back for match 3 on the play for game 1. Let's take a look. Yes, we can keep this. Yeah, the breeding pool already, so we're going to breeding pool Utopia Sprawl. Looking for a soul land off Devourer. And 8 hits. Nada. So let's go for Sowing Myco Spawn then. And I think we still stick with Breeding Pool, Shock, Utopia Sprawl for red. And pass. And pass. We'll set up for a commercial district. Looks like this is probably control. Commercial district trigger. Ghost Quarter. Yes, because we go Misty Rainforest, fetch for Ghost Quarter will get us the 7s. That's fine, we'll pass. Also does deal with this Restless Anchorage if Sowing Megaspawn doesn't. I guess we can also save our fetch, which is nice. Pass, draw. Ghost Court. Sowing Myco Spawn. Do you counter it? There's an Eldrazi temp. And pass. I guess alternatively I could have went with a Cavernous Souls, but I know that they don't have much in the way of consigns right now. Opt. So that tells me that this is Miracles. And pass. When they play a Planeswalker, we go Devourer. They do not, though. I'll go to combat. And kick a Sowing Myco Spawn. We're going to get rid of the Anchorage. Float blue. I'll grab a Cavernous Souls. Name Eldrazi. Play Misty Rain. And pass. Brain Surge. Again, presenting miracles. And put a pause on end step. Thinking. Fetch of Misty Rain. For a Stomping Grounds tapped. Opponent goes to cleanup. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go to combat. Fetch with the Scalding Tarn. Meticulous Archive. Puts it into gray. Field of Ruin, that's good to know. I will cast Utopia Sprawl for blue. And Bajuka Bog, you. We could present lethal damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You would be 12. I think I still hold. Better to be a bit more conservative here. I don't want to play into a either Miracle or a Supreme Verdict. Plays Field of Ruin, that's fine. Malevolent Rumble. Let's go to combat. Attempt to resolve Malevolent Rumble. Really now. Emrakul. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We are short. I will pass. Field of Ruin, Brain Surge. Again, trying to set up a Miracle or a Sweeper. We could take out Field of Ruin, but if they're activating Field of Ruin, they're not killing my cards, right? Opponent's Tinkin. What about? I guess they could have a Solitude? No? Field of Ruin. Yes, that will resolve. For a forest. Alright. So unless you have Orange Chant, rest in peace. That's fine. I mean, I have lethal on board. Draw. Combat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Lethal damage. March. Also, why do you have Rest in Peace main? That's weird. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So yeah, one short of the Emrakul. Is March not working appropriately? I think I saw someone say that it may have been bugged. I'll check the Discord, see if there's any reports of that. Modern. Yeah, it looks like March might be bugged. Let's see, general chat. Bug reports. I'm still excellent 2 cards. I still need to pay for. Oof. I could stop an attack. I would. Sorry. Let's see. Confirm bugs in progress. Search for March of... Yeah, alternative casting bug. Looks like all the Marches have a casting bug right now. Yeah, that sucks. I saw it on Twitter. Just check the forum, and it is marked as in progress. Well, that is an unfortunate way to lose. Let's move these returns to the sideboard, bring in defense grids, and run it back. So against control. Yeah, always unfortunate when that stuff happens. Like, I still think that I had a winning board state. Like, they'll take 3, go to 1. I play the Devourer, exile the Rest in Peace. Following turn, we're able to cast Emrakul. So, like, it would be a pretty high bar for them to get out of that, but definitely not outside the realm of possibility. So it does suck that they didn't get, you know, their extra turn to what have you. So yeah, but March is definitely bugged. Not sure when they might fix that, but I imagine, or hopefully in the near future. So defense grid will be good here. I mean, yeah, just like a turn 1 defense grid, I think just absolutely ruins my opponent's day. I think it is a bit overkill, to be completely honest. I just have it in the sideboard right now because I'm pretty certain that there's going to be a lot of control as the meta settles. So defense grid is just kind of that extra nail in the coffin in this matchup. I'll keep. Gemstone Caverns, exile a forest, and pass. We'll go forest, defense grid. We'll be force checking. And draw. Devourer, you are 1 card late, friend. Pass. And then we'll play Rumble. Opponent's gonna attempt to march. Prismatic. Prismatic does work. I will Malevolent Rumble. Do you have a force? We force checked before, so it's unlikely. But not so they're an impossibility. I'll grab a breeding pool question mark. We already have an Emrakul, so adding another type to yard would be good, and this Wooded Foothills will add another type to yard. We'll pass. Put a pause on end step. Looking for a Sowing Myco spawn off top would be good. Guess I should hold the ability to respond on the off chance they cast a Teferi, as Teferi might want to bounce the Eldrazi spawn, and if so, Harbinger. A bit surprised to see that, but we can make that work. Commercial District, trigger. Kozilek's command will be short, so I think I do pitch that to grave. And pass. 6 card types, Sowing Myco spawn. Cast Myco spawn. We'll grab another temp. You have a subtlety? No subtlety. So yes, we will go temple and pass 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So next turn we can play the Emrakul. Again, I should hold out the ability to respond. Opt resolves. And pass. Draw, World Breaker, Breeding Pool, 1, 2. I will attack with Sowing Myco spawn. I mean, I could attempt the Emrakul. Actually, I would need Consign specifically. So, actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And pass. Do you have a consigned memory? Opt, looking for an answer. Bottom, draw, and our turn, comrade. 'Tis a Solitude. Meticulous Archive, draw into Jace the Mind Sculptor, and a consign to memory. Playing Meticulous Archive wouldn't make a lot of sense here, because then they can play the Solitude. We could play Jace, but that doesn't really make sense either. Consign can't hit anything. Actually, it can if I play the Meticulous Archive. A little bit awkward, but does get the Consign out. Maybe that is correct. So go to main. Alright, I'm holding control. Meticulous Archive. Oh, it's a... Right, I needed to attack first. Whoops. Yeah. Oh, okay. That was a mistake. Go to blocks. I needed to attack first. Good news is I can at least end Solitude and not select. Triggers on the stack. Done. And then pass. So I guess maybe that did work out, as that way they're not able to do anything with the Solitude. I guess they could Jace bounce it, but that's a lot of work. Jace bounce Solitude. You know, they have a consign in hand. I guess they can do that. Go to combat. So we know I have consign. And then what else was in there? I don't think there's anything else of note. Is Jace, Solitude, Consign? Yeah, I think that's all I knew. So now I have a Consign and an Unknown. Go to combat, attack the Jace, see if you block. They will trade. I will take. Devourer or Worldbreaker? Let's go Devourer. It's Devour in time. Do you consign? I mean, you know I have the Emrakul in hand, so consigning this kind of feels bad, right? There's the consign, keeps the Jace. Play the Ghost Court and pass. And hold up the ability to respond on the off chance it's relevant. Jace will 0 for a Brainstorm. Narset. Narset minus. Finds a Days Undoing. Do you have a land? You do not. In that case, my turn. So I will attack Narset. Attack. Nope, not the Jace. Attack the Narset. Narset down. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 minus 4 would be 11, so I can't do both. Though I think there's value in doing this. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This way, in case they do Days Undoing, we still have the World Break. Resolve. So a Days Undoing doesn't do a lot into me. And now we cast the Emrakul. They need a consign. Would have liked to have kept the Ghost Quarter up, but it is what it is. Paying cost for consign. Okay. It is fine. Unless they have a Narset specifically into Days Undoing, I feel like we're still pretty well positioned. Especially the World Breaker sitting here. Jace. Brainstorming. So you've seen how many consigns? 2? Yeah, so far 2 consigns. Opponent Tinkin. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, if they do counter the World Break, we can always return it to hand without much of an issue. Do you play Harbinger? Well, World Break's now stuck. But Jukabog. Let's go to combat and both at Jace. No blocks, Jace down. And I don't think there's a reason to play the Juka Bog, but there's also no reason not to, so let's play the Juka Bog and pass. Paying cost for an opt. I mean, if they find the Miracle, then we're able to return World Break to hand. There's Revealed. Draw 3. 'Tis fine by me. I mean, yeah, I was about to say, it's not like you're going to block with that Harbinger. Draw. Stomping Ground. Go attacking. I mean, you're going to have to block at some point. You can't hard cast a Solitude, which is actually pretty detrimental for you. No Solitude, no Prismatic Ending, no March. I guess no, actually you do have a Plains, never mind. But no Solitude. So you can play Tef, Narset, Jace. You get Jace minus on Devourer. Gonna Brainstorm again. We're running out of cards here, friend. Still haven't seen their one of Miracle. Hallowed Fountain. And again, we'll go after the Jace. Interesting. Makes me think they have a Solitude. Okay. Rumble. Combat. All at Jace. Jace down. Rumble. Spell Snare. Pass. And pass. Attack since you're not going to block. Paying cost for Big Tef. Big Tef plus. Big Tef minus. Big Tef plus. I mean, we're definitely going to attack Teferi. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. Sprawl. And I guess keep on putting Planeswalkers in front of me. I'll keep on attacking them. Do you have a Solitude? You do have a Solitude. Subtlety. Okay. I imagine you block the Devourer. Yes. So Tef goes down to 2. Utopia Sprawl for red. And pass. And hold up Blade Respawn on the off chance you find a Miracle. Tef plus. Hollow Storm Giants. Currently doing nothing. Do you attack? You do not. You do. Interesting. Feeling confident, are we? Tef. Draw. Combat. All out Tef. Solitude. Exile Supreme Verdict. They really don't want to get rid of this Harbinger. Evoke trigger. Do you have it consigned to memory? Yeah. And then blocks the Sowing Myco spawn. Yes. Play the temp. Pass. At this point, we pass. Once again, they're not going to run a miracle out now. No reason to do that. Attack of Harbinger. Harbinger beat time. Draw. Defense grid. Pass. Pass. Field of Ruin. Tef plus. You do need to deal with Tef. Ooh. Narset. That's a problem. Do you want a Days Undoing is a good question. I would draw one, which would actually be beneficial for me. Narset minus for an opt. Play an opt, I guess. No. No Days Undoing. That opt's gonna cost 4 mana to cast. Yeesh. We're drawing nothing but bricks. And pass. Tef plus. I mean, we're at a time advantage here. There's no reason for me to concede here. Brain Surge. I need a Devourer to deal with Tef. Revealed. I mean, you're getting a bit close here, friend. 18 cards left in deck. And are you going to go to cleanup? To cleanup. Draw. Cannot play this command. We'll pass. And pass. Attack. To 11. Plus. D minus the Narset. Opt. Bottom draw. And cleanup. Draw. Null Drift. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Draw 2. Do you have another consign? It is a consign to memory. And pass. And pass. Tef plus. Harbinger attack. That's 3 consigns now. Again, we need to deal with this to fairy. Draw. Oofda. That's not a way to do it. Wanderer. Really? That's an interesting card. I haven't seen it in Modern, at least. Pioneer, sure, that's a control all-star, but Modern, surprising. So it's gonna be 5 damage if they plus it. I mean, I think they have it at this point. They minus Tef. And then Days Undoing, draw 7. Just machine gun down my lands to seal the deal. Brain Surge will work too. No, I guess actually they can't really I guess they could still Days Undoing. Because hand and graveyard into their library, yeah. Alright, we got nothing but blue sources here. And then the Days Undoing for good measure. Oh, that's right. No Teferi triggers on this. How do we just double draw into command? Jesus. Okay. Yeah, no Teferi triggers because it ends the turn, doesn't it? That's funny. Oh, we'll take the 5. We'll take the loss for game 2. And move on to game 3. Yeah, that Harbinger did a lot more than I was expecting. In that case, let's bring in Dismember. And what do we want to cut then? Gemstone and Ghost Court, probably. But Jukabog does a little because of Days Undoing. It is somewhat relevant. But I think Ghost Quarter actually might be more relevant, so we'll cut the Bajuka Bog. And run it back. On the play for game 3. It's a bit slow for my liking, isn't it? What makes his hand better? Not much. Mulligan. I'll keep this one. Blue source, soul land. Not blue source, green source. I think we pitch the breaker. Reveal Devourer. And we'll grab the temple. And pass. And pass. We'll play the fence grid. I'd love to see a command. All the storm giants. Probably going to have a spell snare if I had to guess. Pass. This at least hits a spell snare, consign, force. Yeah, I mean, eating a consign for our defense grid's fantastic. I'd love a green source off the top. So that tells me they don't have a spell snare, which is good. Draw. Sanctum. Pass. Yeah. I mean, now we have Soul Land, green source, all good. Narset. I was about to say, funny enough, a Harbinger would kind of help me at least cast this Null Drift. Consign to hand. Draw. Talisman. For Talisman. Rumble or Drift? Drift draws me. I think we will go Talisman. Do you have a force? No force. Swain Myco Spawn is good. Forces them to consign. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At the same time, Wooded Foothills does get us to Writhing Chris. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess we can keep the spawn. So yeah, we'll go Myco Spawn. And then pass. And then hold the ability to respond. Narset minus for a Days Undoing. That's just my luck. Counterspell, that's fine. They need to hold the consign. And pass. And draw. A Sprawl does not do much here right now. We'll force them to use this consign. Targeting Hall the Storm Giants. There's consign to memory. And pass. Next turn we'll attempt to devour the Narset. And pass. Two, three. Chase. Chase will brainstorm. Still think we need to take out the Narset. They did play a land for turn, right? No, they haven't played a land for turn. Land for turn, Otawara. Another talisman. I will not cast it right now, though. Also wish that was a talisman of impulse. Also, I just wish it was a land. Sanctum of Ugin trigger. I'm going to go for Narset, and I think we choose no on the Sanctum. Narset down, so no Days Undoing, no on the Sanctum, and pass. Opt. Bottom draw, and pass. Jace, brainstorming again. Six, 10, 11. I guess we could have been pretty close to an Emrakul. K command. We can use that as a permission spell. Thinking we go Talisman of Curiosity. And attempt to attack Jace. See if you have a Solitude. There's the Solitude. Targets Devourer. I think I will actually K command now, as it does force check. You know about the counter spells. No force. Bottom. And 6, 10, 13. Let's go top and pass and pass. You know about the counter spell. Jace sees Emrakul. We'll use its ability. No blocks. Draw. Verdant Cat. Let's see here. Let's attempt to resolve the Null Drift. Though, is the Null Drift better or the Writhing Crisp better? I mean, just the fact that we can double cast here will be good. I mean, Null Drift has evasion. Both have relevant triggers. Verdant Cat. Fetch. For a Stomping Grounds. Shock. Let's cast the Writhing Crisp. Trigger. No counterspell. Trigger 1. Always yield. Trigger 2. Trigger 3. Attempt to resolve Null Drift. Sanctum of Ugin, draw 2. Do you have a consign? I would like to deal with that Hall of the Storm Giants, so they will consign, countering all from the looks of things. And passing. And pass. I do wonder if maybe I should have held up a green source for a Rumble. Opponent will have to play pretty tight here. Looks at the top, choose not, opt, top draw, flooded strand. They can't attack. Draw, temp. Attempt a Utopia Sprawl for blue. Malevolent Rumble. Counterspell. At least get the counterspell out. They know about the temps, no point in hiding it. Go to combat and attack Jace. Block. I think at this point they're just trying to ult Jace from the looks of things. Flooded Strand fetch. Brain Surge. And pass. Jace plus. Chooses not to Supreme Verdict. Dismember. Hold up the ability to respond. Jace plus. Chooses not to use its ability. That's scary. Narset. Narset minus. Oh, they might just get this. They don't want a Daze Undoing here. They want to give me whatever's on top. Second Dismember. Rip. Jace will plus. And choose not to. It's a sprawl. Oh, actually, I don't want to cast it in retrospect. Pass. And pass. Welp. That's unfortunate. Jace will ult. Shuffle 3. And at this point, all they should do is just pass every turn. Doing anything but would be a bad choice. Just pass. And pass. Again, all they should do is be passing. Harbinger, fine. And pass. Yeah, I don't think they time out by the time I deck, so I think we lose the Jace. Maybe it was arguable that I should put Emrakul into hand. The reason why I didn't at the time is I wasn't expecting Jace to plus, but maybe I shouldn't have. I should have probably played around the thought that that was a possibility. Now, do I think it would have been relevant? Maybe. Hard to say, because Emrakul would have been countered, sure. In fact, it probably would have been consigned. So, I think that was a close one. I think that we definitely made a mistake by not putting Emrakul to hand, but it is what it is. Sometimes win some, sometimes lose some. That said, we'll be back for match 4. Alright, and we're back for match 4 on the draw for game 1. I will keep and pass. Grove of the Burn Willows. Hardened Scales. Okay. It's about to be a bit confused. Imprint, Talisman, and pass, and pass. Eldrazi, what? Eldrazi Temple Hardened, what? I'm confused. Ballista. Yeah. Interesting. Forest. Utopia Sprawl. For red. Malevolent Rumble. For Devourer of Destiny. And pass. I guess you could threaten to ping the spawn. Weird. Darksteel Citadel. Still trying to figure out this temple. I guess they just play Kozilek's command because they can. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. Go to combat. I'll take the 2. 3 cards in hand. Float. Phase change. It resolves in order, but they can't. Well, actually, I guess they can. Yeah, they can respond to, but they can't target the token. So I will cast command. Target me. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. So we could devour the Hardened Scales, which I think is correct. Do they play anything else? Looks like a command X2. So yeah, are they just playing Temple for command? Interesting. Yeah, that will work. We'll pass. Very interesting. And I guess they really don't need too many green sources. And if they just run colorless as well, then command is a viable option. It's a good card. So, I mean, it makes sense. Yeah. Same way that turns does it. Let's see. Breeding pool, shock. Green, red. Breeding pool for red. Chrysalis. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Saga trigger. And I get the return Emrakul to hand. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah. And then cast Emrakul next turn. Hardened Scales. And Ballista. Ballista. 1, 2. So I guess a good question here is, and I think we'd return Emrakul regardless. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we'll do this. I guess this now forces you to ping the spawns. It doesn't necessarily guarantee that I won't cast the Emrakul, though. Just means I need a soul land, which I have 7 of in my deck right now, so you're kind of gambling on that. Let's say you, opponent, when you ping the spawns, you do not bold move Cotton. They're still thinking about it. I think it's the right choice to stop me from casting. So let me confirm more time. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Trigger 1. Always yield. Trigger 2. Tis an Emrakul. Our turn, comrade. You know, I'll probably just attack Writhing Chris. Blocking Ballista, if you don't activate it, I'll have it target itself. Attack with the Writhing Chrysalis. I guess you could block, then regenerate. Oh, I guess that's right. I think it comes back with the number. Does it come back with the number of tokens? I forget how regenerate works with tokens like that. Not sure. Tis a command. Ooh, a present for me. You really... Okay, so they really should have cycled the command. Because now I just get to give myself a present. Yep, trigger... Welding jar, target my own talisman, I suppose. Kozilek's command, cast. Target me, target me. Thank you for the present, opponent. I appreciate it. Bottom, top, and top. And pass. And pass. I guess I probably should have put the command in hand, because that is relevant, I suppose. Make a construct. Okay. What is a construct to a Titan opponent? I do think Emrakul cares not. Eldrazi Hardened Scales. So interesting. Zebaz. Hardened Scales. Land. Let's see. I mean, I think I just go to combat. And if you don't block, I win. So Zebaz down. Modular. I will rumble. Grab a temp. Play a temp. And just 2 more. Emrakul, take 2. Our turn again, comrade. Opponent scoops it up. So this is Hardened Scales, win for game 1, on to game 2. So consign to memory is a good option. Return still seems decent though. What don't we really need? I'm not sure if they're on Agatha Soul Cauldron. So I think we can drop the Bog. Ghost Court is still relevant though. So I think we keep the Ghost Court. Do we keep the return is the question. Let's cut return. Bring in dismember. And cut. Cut a devourer. Yeah, I'll do it that way. We could cut 2 more devourers for 2 returns if we really want, but I think we keep it like this for right now. Because Devour is probably the worst 7-mana value spell we have here. I will keep and reveal and pass. We'll go Windswept Teeth, fetch, Ancient Stirrings. We'll fetch for a Breeding Pool, Utopia Sprawl, Glaring Fleshraker. Wild. Trigger. Let's go. Do you want K command or World Breaker? Because we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And World Breaker is not bad, but I do need to get rid of that Fleshraker, so I think we go command. Draw. Windswept Teeth. Fetch. For Breeding Pool. Shock. Utopia Sprawl. For red. And pass. And pass. There's a Glaring Fleshrake. Weird. Draw. Sprawl. Temple. Cast. For Temple. Pass. And hold on the off chance it's relevant. Otherwise, next turn we can K command the Fleshraker and dig pretty deep. Fleshraker and Scales. Odd. Like, just the K command I think makes a bit more sense. But like going full on Eldrazi doesn't. This tells me there's probably K command. So I will have to do something a bit interesting here and pretty much hold. Ugin Lab. Imprint Devourer. Go to combat. So now we kind of need to just stare at each other for a bit. Will you cast your K command? You won't. I mean, we both are calling each other's bluff, right? That the other has it. But like, they're gonna have to tap at some point, whereas I really don't need to. I think I have an advantage here. Opponent's tinkin'. They'll attack since they're not going to block with it. And draw. A second one, you say. Well, that does make things interesting. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we need X equals 10 for 2, right? Unfortunate. Play the Ugin Lab. No imprint. Utopia Sprawl on Breeding Pool for, we'll say, black. Go to combat. All right. Are we finally doing it? We are. So we will exile Flesh Rake and make spawns. In response. And done. This way we can x equals 3 again. So Flesh Rake down. And pass. And pass. How do you stack your deck is a good question. Because you currently have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 mana? Yeah. Question of the day is, what can you do with 9 mana? I have no idea what this deck looks like, because the Kozak's command made sense to me. The Ancient Stirrings make sense to me. The Glaring Flesh Rake, not so much. 4 top, 0 bottom. Alright. And hold up the ability to respond. Hardened Scales. Urza Saga. One, 2, 3, 4, 9, 8. 8, 9. Mox Opal. Only 2, so Opal's offline. Arcbound Ravager, sure. I can exile you if needed. For example, if you try and go for a 4/4 or a 5/5 Ballista, because we have 7, 8 plus 1, 5. Yeah, so you could go Ballista. I mean, if you do, that's fine. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You could go after Hardened Scales. What else do you got? The only thing I can think you can play here, or you'd play here, would be a Ballista. There's the Ballista. I will scry draw exile. And done. No, thank you. I do not want a big ballista, please. You have a lot of good targets. Yep, you will sack it to itself. Scry draw. There's consign. I mean, it's not bad. It's not a bad idea to have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The only problem is I can't hold it up and play Devourer is the only problem. So I think we do go... We'll put it on top. Trust that we're going to draw into something relevant. And draw. That is something relevant. Kind of same issue though, ain't it? We already have Breeding Pool out. Go to combat. Attack with Sowing Mycospawn. I guess you could put another counter on Ballista and then block. And put 2 counters on Ballista, in fact. Yeah, I guess that's the thing you could do. Yes. Yeah, I didn't really think that. Put counter. Yes. Let's see here. Green. Kick. If I do that, 1, 2, leaving 1, 2. Yeah, I need to get rid of the Saga. So in that case, let's do it like this. And 1. So I Mycospawn kicked, get rid of Saga. Again, I don't have another blue source available to me. We can grab a green source and Utopia Sprawl. Otherwise, we can Commercial District or Sanctum. Sanctum might actually be a good option. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, let's go Sanctum. Resolve. And pass. I guess actually I should put a pause on end step. So yeah, they could grow the Ballista again. And I'll block it. End step. We'll return to Devourer. We'll be able to exile the Hardened Scales, trigger Sanctum, and hold Consign. They can pump it up to 7. They should probably do before we exile the Scales. commercial district. And exile scales. Will you pump the ballista first? Looks like you're gonna go consign first. Not consign, whatchamacallit? Command, which we will consign. So Ballista will live below Devourer, so that will be good. Blue. Cast. Target. Resolve. Trigger. ES. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We'll grab un Emrakul. Commercial district, trigger. Utopia Sprawl to yard. And pass. I mean, I think I like the idea of command in any deck that can support it. That normally would just use colorless sources. I wonder if something like Affinity could even use it. Yeah, I mean, just plain Temple for command. Obviously, it's only 4 soul lands. I don't think many decks can support both Temple and Lab, for example. So Boss could sack itself to grow the Ballista. And draw. And green for blue. This way we can threaten having another consign. Tis an Emrakul. Our turn, comrade. You should probably ping me for 5. No reason to play the land, so we'll just feign that we have another consign in hand. No attacks. Yep, ping me for 5. I guess you don't have... Probably should have grown it and then pinged me, but it is what it is. Okay, they figured that out. Now we can get one more in. Potentially an argument for you to have pinged down the Devourer, though. That way I didn't have lethal on board, because now I do. But Seiju, you say? Well, Thief of Wild. Main? So I mean we can... Beseiju whatever. I could Beseiju a Utopia Sprawl. Do I even care about Beseiju? Eh? An opponent controls. Zabaz will die regardless. Might as well gain myself a life. Yes. Forest Stomping Grounds. Tapped. I guess Thief of Existence, question mark? I mean, I don't think there's really a point in me playing that. So We'll just attack with Sabaz. Lock with Emrakul. Fascinating. I mean, I guess Thief does actually, for Karn Eldrazi ramp, deal with that rather well, which is kind of interesting to think about. Huh. Also, in retrospect, I probably should have pinged or Beseju'd the Utopia Sprawl that was underneath the breeding pool, so that way I could continue to feign that I had Consign. Yeah, probably would have been correct, but I'm not exactly all too worried now. Because you play Thief, you hit a Utopia Sprawl, oh hell. And then we attack, you block the Devourer, you're at 1. So I think we're in the clear, but I definitely could play that a little bit more efficiently in retrospect. How's a Boz read? Oh, I should have destroyed their Mox Opal. Yeah, I should have tapped that for green. Red, destroy Mox Opal. Yeah, Command X4, that's fine. So a slight misplay on my part. And again, I should have Beseju'd the Utopia Sprawl underneath Breeding Pool. So I could have continued to feign me having a command, or not command, a consign. So, slight misplays. Saga, that's fine. You know, they have a Thief that they can't play. Rumble, I will rumble for a Null Drift. Cast Null Drift. 4, 5, 6, 7. Draw 2. More Null Drift, eh? Go to combat. You have to block the Devourer. I mean, what card gets them out of this? I don't think there's really anything. Unless they also play Emrakul. But that wouldn't seem right, right? Zabaz. And all that's left is the Thief. So yeah, that should be GG's. Okay, we got there. Solid wins against Eldrazi Hardened Scales. I think there's some thought to it playing Temple and Command in decks that can support colorless spells or those colorless pips, right? I think the Flesh Rake doesn't make as much sense. I don't think it is truly conducive to what Scales is trying to do, but Command is just a really overall good card, so that makes more sense. The Flesh Rake and the Thief, not as much. The Thief maybe more so if Karn the Great Creator sees more play, whether that be through Tron or through Eldrazi ramp. I think the Thief in the side is a good pick. The Flesh Raker, probably not. But I'm curious to see if this becomes stock. So I'm interested at the very least. With that being said, we'll be back for match 5. All right, and we're back for match 5 on the draw for game 1. I will... Interesting. I'll keep. We'll reveal Devourers. We're looking for a green source. That way we can go Sprawl. Ooh, could be a mirror match. Could be Tron. We'll pass. We'll get a look in a second. Let's see. What say you, opponent? What you playing? This hand may have been good in any other instance. Ancient Stirrings Forest actually doesn't truly tell me. Ancient Stirrings is not stock here, or at least not in ramp right now. There's the Misty. I think I do need to go Misty. And do we just want to go Stomping Grounds? Probably. Now I'll go Stomping Grounds, draw, Stomping Grounds, yes. At the same time, only downside here is I can't go, well, no, I actually do go blue. The downside here is if I can't go red. So now there is a situation to where I'm not able to cast a Chrysalis, which to be fair is not like the best card. The Seiju and Might. Weird. This seems more Tron. Windswept Teeth fetch. Probably should have waited on that. Breeding Pool, tapped, and pass, and pass. Interesting. Flesh Rake. So yeah, feels more like, could this be like green Eldrazi? I will Imprint Devourer, cast Talisman, evoke Null Drifter, and then pass. There's the Sowing Myco Spawn. We'll pass. So next turn we will be able to kick the Myco Spawn. Oh! Oh! This is Basking Broodscale combo. So a really interesting part about that. This was something that we were testing, and after our like week's worth of testing, Thinker and I were discussing how probably the next step for Broodscale would be to run Devourer and Lab to try and get the combo out faster. So it's interesting to see that here. We will play Sanctum. We are in a bit of a bind though. So I think I'll go Breeding, or target Breeding Pool with Stomping Grounds for red. And then I guess do this. I probably should have split between like Breeding Pool to Stomping Grounds to Breeding Pool. But I will do this. Do I need to do that right now? Probably not a bad idea. Yes. For green, red, I guess blue. Kick a Myco Spawn. The problem is that if they have the whatchamacallit, the blade, they win. So I think we just go Commercial District to set up. The Gemstone or to go score doesn't do anything. So yeah, command top, pass and hope that we survive a turn. Do you have the blade? Ballista for 0. Ping. Do you have Agatha's Soul Cauldron? Ballista 0. Okay. Oh. For command? That'll be 3. You know, Devour's the last card in hand, but if they find the blade, they again win. So they win. Maybe the right move would have been to play the Drift Evoked to try and find something. I wonder if that would have been the correct play instead. Yeah. Okay. So, Basking Broodscale combo. So we will lose. Let's move the sideboard. Consign to memory comes in. Return comes out. Dismember comes in. But Jukabog's relevant if they're playing Agatha Soul Cauldron. Gemstone comes out. And Ghost Quarter's okay. So I think we will cut a Devourer and run it back this way. Okay. Well, it's good to know what we're playing against at the very least. But moments like this, I'm reminded how if there's an increase of Belcher, Broodscale, Affinity, Hardened Scales, etc., you know, having Karn the Great Creator overriding Chrysalis is definitely preferred. So it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, I guess maybe, see, on one hand, like, trying to go for the command would have been good. On the other hand, I wonder, there's Consign, there's Sprawl, we keep. We'll go for blue instead of red. Alright. So I guess maybe there's an argument for blue. Well, I guess no. Well, yeah, still have Chrysalis, so like I can't just switch off of red now, right? So it's a bit awkward in that regard. Double Myco. So the question now is, do we Rumble or do I Myco? Myco guarantees that I can kick next turn, right? So let's go Myco. Let's go Temple and pass. And pass. Saga Trigger, Glaring Flesh Rake. Yes. Draw. There's Writhing Chris that I currently cannot play. Play Ghost Quarter. Kick with Myco Spawn. Kick the Temple out. And I'm gonna go Breeding Pool Shock. And pass. No reason to Ghost Quarter right now. Because unless they play a lab. A second one, really. Yes, that's fine. End step. Do we want to Ghost Quarters the question? I mean, I'm going to Ghost Quarter at some point, so let's Ghost Quarter now. Saga. Tis a forest. Draw. Dismember. I will play Malevolent Rumble. There's an Emrakul. 2 types in yard. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I will go to combat. Hold up the Dismember, hold up the Consign. There's a temp. In response, replicate. Target 1, and we'll replicate once. Breeding pool, temp. And the Glaring Fleshraker trigger. Phase change. End step. Dismember. And my turn. Sanctum. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. One short. Pass. Down to 5. Lethal's on board. So they can grab a Blade of the Bloodsheaf now. If they have the Broodscale, can they win? No. Oh, they're dang close to it. Actually, they can. If they attach Ballista. Yes. Huh. I wonder if I should have held the Dismember. Fetch. For a, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's go Stomp. Yes, 13. Trigger. Only downside here. So, like, you can make an infinitely big Broodscale, sure. No. So do you have a Consign, I guess, is the question. So now you make an infinitely big Broodscale. Basically, if it touches me, I die. Yeah, this Chrysalis was a Karn, it'd be a much different story. Yeah, I do wonder if maybe the Utopia Sprawl in red would have been better. So yeah, they're bigger than the Emrakul, that's fine. I mean, if you consign to, not consign, command. So yeah, I think maybe I should have held the Dismember instead of hitting the Fleshrake. Because the Fleshrake alone, while a threat, is not the main piece of the engine, it's the Broodscale. So I should have probably held the Dismember, realistically speaking. So I do think I made a mistake there. Ghost Quarter. Yes. For a forest. Do you have the command? Or are you just making a big Broodscale? Like, maybe I should have attacked first. In retrospect. If I had attacked first, Was there a way for them to do much? No. They have an Emrakul. So draw. There's another blade. So, I mean, I can play the stirrings and fail to find. It puts a type in yard. Yeah, we don't want any of that. So yeah, in retrospect, I probably should have attacked first. Because they would have been forced to block, right? Yeah, I didn't think about that for some reason. Bit of misplay on my part. I'll blame it on getting a bit tunnel vision with the Emrakul. Well, actually, what I can do here is grab Ballista and just win. Any order. Because now I can go to combat. Attack with a Broodscale. Block with a Myco Spawn. Trigger the blade. Always healed. Or put on a stack. Always healed. Onto the stack. Always yes. Always yield. And then trigger. So it worked out in the end, but definitely by the skin of my teeth. We'll need to get to 9. Yeah, if I had just attacked, then they would have been forced to block. Yeah, like I said, I think I just got a bit tunnel visioned on what my, like me casting Emrakul, not thinking that about it triggering the Basking Broodscale, right? We'll cast the Ballista. X equals 5. And then save targets. Always yield. And we got there. Oh, one last trigger on the stack. Okay. Close one. Almost punted the game and subsequently the match. But we got to a game 3. Let's make good use of it, shall we? So, loss for game 1, win for game 2, right? Yes. Bring back in the gemstone. And we will cut another Devourer and run it back. Yeah, so 2 major mistakes we made there. Not holding to Dismember and not attacking first. Can we draw into a land? This hand's not bad. It's very reactionary though. I'll keep. And pass. Prismatic Vista, fetch for a green source. Delighted Halfling resolves. Draw. Hold. Let's see you play a Glaring Flesh Rake. Basking Broodscale in response. Fetch Misty Rainforest for a breeding pool. Shock. and consign to memory. Target for blue. Best case scenario here is definitely going to be a soul land, specifically a lab. Burning Catacomb I'll take though. And we cannot play the talisman, so we'll pass. Ghost Court. They would have been smart. Ballista's fine. It would have been smart to actually hit the breeding pool, funny enough. Put a pause on end step. Fetch. For a commercial district. Trigger. Rumble. As much as I would like the rumble, I need a hold of this consign. So grave. Draw. Forest. Talisman. Pass. Hold. 3 types in yard. Temp. Again, ghost quartering. Yes, that's fine. Hit me for 3. Hit me for 2. Put a counter, that's fine. Down to 13. Draw. Command. Two cards in hand. I mean, you could Writhing Chrysalis. X2. The problem is, if they have the Broodscale, they win. Right? No. Actually, I think we're fine doing this. I will cast the Writhing Chris. Do we just command now is the question. Yes, because then they can pump it. I will scry draw XL, but before I do, trigger. Oh, that's so ugly, actually. And I suppose trigger. Before those go in the stack, though, what we'll do is I'll scry draw exile. If they want to get rid of the Chrysalis, they can. 0. This way it doesn't grow, but they can kill my Chrysalis as a result. Not ideal. And at this point, we haven't played a land, so I don't want to pass it in full. Yeah, a bit awkward. Another trigger on the stack. Always yield these. Rumble and pass. Yeah, bit of an awkward situation. 3 cards in hand. Do they have the other piece of the engine? Delighted Halfling would tell me no. Another Ballista, geez. Draw. Another consign. I will play Rumble. There's Temple. Play Temple. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Cast Sowing Mycospawn. I'm very much telling that I have the consign. And passing. And hold. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, so yes. Next turn we have Emrakul. Basking Broodscale. I will consign. They've had this Ghost Quarter available. They could have been using it this entire time. I just think that they didn't realize it was an option. I don't know why. Yeah, that's fine now, but like you should have used this on the breeding pool. You would have had the win. Because all you needed to do was target breeding pool, then phase change. Right, then Chris, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, exactly. Alright, our turn, comrade. No attacks. Will you sack? Or rather, ping me down with the Walking Ballista. It would be the correct move. Emrakul of your own. An Eldrazi Temple. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Close. Go to combat. And attack and attack. Go to blocks. And then we pass back to you. Double blade trigger. And pass. Clearing Flesh Rake. Equip the blade. And draw. Actually, Writhing Chris isn't that great, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll still play it. Rumble. Grab another Null Drift. Then go to combat. Down to 3. We're holding up the consign. 2 unknowns. Flesh Rake and Flesh Rake. Cast with Replicate. Number 1. Okay. And opponent concedes. Yes, we got there. I'll be honest and saying, I should have lost there. My opponent had Ghost Quarter up for a while, and all they had to do was to target Breeding Pool with the Ghost Quarter. I would have floated the blue. If they then phase changed, I would have lost the blue, meaning consign wasn't up. On that turn where they had the Broodscale, they very much could have won. Thankfully for me, they misplayed. But yeah, we nearly punted game 2, but they definitely punted game 3, which did give me the match in turn. So I'll take the W regardless, but I do want to at least recognize that I probably should have lost. But that being said, that there will be the end of today's league. Another 3-2 record. Again, not bad. Would obviously like, 4-1, 5-0, but 3-2 is definitely respectable. We're currently rocking a 55% win rate, which is definitely very good. So I'm happy with the results overall. Still feeling in the back of my mind that, whatchamacallit, Karn is better than the Chrysalis. Like, Chrysalis is good, don't get me wrong. There just is times where the mana does feel a bit clunky, where, you know, my first fetch, Utopia Sprawl, is usually going to be into a breeding pool, Utopia Sprawl for red. That way I have access to green, red, or blue. And blue-red. So that's usually my go-to now, but that does make it a bit more fragile to non-basic land destruction or land hate. So moon effects, Beseiju, Field of Ruin. So like it feels a bit more fragile in that regard, where I can't just go, okay, Forest Sprawl, red, pass, or blue, pass, right? Because at least with the return, I wasn't as pressed most times. And I guess maybe in the grand scheme of things, I probably wasn't always prioritizing having the ability to evoke the Null Drifter. But then with Consign on the side, it definitely feels more like I am struggling to fight between the two. You know, which one's better, the having access to Consign or having access to Chrysalis. So there is that little bit of conflict within the deck. I mean, I think all three versions are definitely playable, whether that be Temur Eldrazi ramp with Chrysalis, Karn Eldrazi ramp, which is Temur minus Chrysalis, or Gruul, which is basically Temur minus Null Drifter in replace for Urgast. I think those are the three versions that are probably going to stick around going forward, and likely to stick around even past Tarkir Dragonstorm's release. I'm still skeptical of Ugin finding a home in Eldrazi ramp, but only time will tell. We'll see if it is an Eldrazi ramp card or if it is a Tron specific card. I think it could find a home as maybe a 1 or 2 of, maybe in place of Emrakul, but even then that feels a bit because Emrakul at least can definitely be cast on a turn 4 pretty regularly, even a turn 3 if you do high roll off of the Rumble. Of course, having a Planeswalker does make that even easier. So, things to consider. But overall, deck's still performing well. I'm pretty happy with it. We'll continue to test and collect data, see what's working, see what's not, go from there. But that being said, as always, if you guys did enjoy today's video, please do consider hitting the like button, comment down below if you saw any mistakes that I made, any lines that I missed, or just some general feedback. It is always appreciated. For as much as I hope that you all learn from me and both my successes and my failures, I hope that I can learn from you all as well. Last but not least, if you have reached this point in the video and haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button. We're getting closer and closer to our next goal of 1,000 subscribers. With that being said, folks, I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye!